Welcome back to our Wednesday press conferences. This is our final one featuring Pepperdine University of the 2019 Division I and II Men's Volleyball National Championship. We're joined by head coach David Hunt and student athletes Noah Dyer and Robert Malahy. And we'll open things up with a statement from head coach David Hunt and then open it up for questions.
Yeah, I don't know. We're just happy to be here. That's my comment. Ready to rock and roll.
All right, Vinny, take it away.
Robert, Vinny Lopes here from Off the Block. Talking about your guys' offense this season, it really seemed to be clicking. Can you talk about what you've been able to do as a setter to really make it so successful and so well balanced?
Well, I think it all starts with our serve receive passing with this guy right here. And I think it's really good because we're always in system, so it makes my job a lot easier and I can go out and execute the game plan that our coaches make for us. So I think it really starts with our really good serve receive passing.
And Coach, I want to follow up on that, talking about the game plan. What are some of your goals for tomorrow night?
I don't know. To play good volleyball would be first and foremost. I don't really set an expectation. I just hope that we play up to our potential because I think we're a pretty good team.
Robert, one of the things that came up in the earlier press conferences was the idea that getting a chance to play in this venue yesterday may have helped you guys because you hadn't played here during the regular season. Do you think there's any merit in that?
I think so. We've actually never played here before. Last night was the first time I'd ever played here. So it was good to get a little experience. The ceiling is a little higher than I'm used to, especially compared to Firestone. So I think it's good to have a match under our belts going into tomorrow.
And then, Noah, looking at your opponent, Long Beach State, what about their offense do you think is going to be one of the more challenging things to contain or stop tomorrow night?
From what we've seen, they're a really talented team. I'd say they run a pretty quick offense, but mostly what it's going to come down to is how well we execute our own game plan and basically what we can do on our side. Because if we worry too much about what they're going to do, I feel like then we start getting distracted away from the volleyball that we can play. And so as long as we're focused on what we can do well, I think that's what will get us there.
And Coach, I want to ask you, obviously this season you guys have had some really good success, but what do you feel has been the biggest improvement this team has made from the beginning of the year to now?
That's a really good question. I got to think about it. I think you start off the year sort of, hey, here's where we think we could go. And then about 2/3 of the way through the year, all right, now here's the reality of here's where we're at, here's where we want to be at. Now, how can we fine-tune our roles? How can we fine-tune the pieces that we have to get the best out of them? So I think guys understanding the roles, understanding what we're asking them to do, and then executing those pretty efficiently and consistently has probably been the trademark of these guys, is just the consistency over time to be pretty good.
Noah, you guys went on a big run there down the end of the season, sweeping both of your matches into the MPSF tournament. When you dropped that set yesterday against Princeton, were you guys at all, were you shaking it up, or was it just a brush it off your back, we've got this, we'll come back and take care of business?
I think it was really a wake-up call for us that in this tournament, everybody's going to be playing good volleyball. But I think we also realized at the same time that, hey, like even if we're not playing at our best at this point, we're a good volleyball team. And if we just stick to our guns and stick to what we do best, then whatever happens, happens. But we will most likely be able to handle any challenges. So,
you know what, I got to interject too a little bit. After the match, I got a lot of calls and this morning and people, hey, you guys survived that match or you got through that one. Princeton's a damn good volleyball team. And I feel like maybe from the outside they weren't getting enough credit. I mean, internally we know how good they were, but they have pieces that are really talented and Sam does a great job with them. And I sort of got irritated as people were saying that because they had nothing to do with that. Maybe from the outside there was this perception that our draw was a little bit easier, but geez, that's a really good team and we knew we were in for a battle. So dropping a mat. We don't sit around and go, hey, we haven't dropped a set. Hey, keep that going. I mean, that's just the way it's worked out.
Mm-hmm.
Robert, with your offense, you have a lot of weapons at your disposal. I want to ask you though, as a setter, when you see that one player is getting the hot hand, kind of like Wyzork had last night, how does that change your mindset as a setter at those moments?
Well, I try to stick with the game plan as much as possible. We have a great arsenal of attackers, and I have a lot of good options to go to. And so I think a big key for us is just to make sure that everyone is focused and staying to the game plan. And I think with all the options I have, it makes it really easy for me. So.
And then a question for all three of you right now. You look at the secondary ticket market. Cheapest seat is going for $90 or about $100. What does that say for you guys that people are willing to pay $100 to watch you guys play volleyball?
We should have scalped those tickets.
I think it's pretty cool. I think it shows that the game is growing, and I think that's really important. And I think overall, in the big picture, all the teams together, it's our job to kind of grow the game in the sport. So I think that's cool.
And then, Noah, I want to ask you, obviously, not only on the court, but off the court, you're very successful academically. How tough is it to balance the academics and the volleyball, especially this time of year with finals coming up?
Yeah, so we just had our finals week last week, and we kind of experienced that with the MPSF playoffs and stuff like that. But I really think the key to all of it is managing sleep. So as long as you're getting your sleep and you're keeping your mind in the right place and being able to balance, then balancing school and volleyball comes after that. So that's probably the main thing.
Right, and Robert, final question from me. Obviously, we know that you think that you guys are going to be lifting the championship on Saturday, but who sits on the Iron Throne at the end of the season?
With Game of Thrones, I think it's got to be our guy Jon Snow. I think he's built his way up. He kind of started off slow, and now he's built some steam. So I think my money's on Jon Snow.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Best of luck tomorrow.
Right.